All right, I'm here with Matthew Porter, PhysEd.
How you doing?
He makes awesome attachments and devices to get jacked in your home gym. So this is the, what do you call it?
So this is the RevBar. So these are like basically pre-production models that I did sell over the show. Tomorrow it's going to go on pre-sale. If I get 50 orders, then I'll make a production run. The big thing is it's going to, different with this one and that one, it's going to be a little shorter on either end, probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So you don't want to be here versus here. But whenever I do curls or like tricep pushdowns, I would want my hand to be able to follow the movement because I want my wrist to be stiff. Yeah. Every time it's fixed, or if it doesn't rotate, it just doesn't feel comfortable on my wrist. It's like I'm just trying to make something that I personally like and I want it to feel good. So if it feels good, I want to use it, I'm more likely to use it. And then it's basically a thumbless grip for most of them. So press downs, you're gonna roll your hand over as you're using it. For curls, you're gonna keep your elbows forward, and as you use it, you're gonna roll forward. And then they're spin on bearings, so nice and smooth. Right now the model is 7 pounds. The goal is to get it below 5. So your smallest stack weight, you can get down. So right now, because 7, if this is at the very top, it does want to like pull it down a little bit. I can lift that cable up. And for safety purposes, you can make it where if you pull all the pins out, your cable attachment doesn't drop. It's just a little safer. And everyone with the Voltra wants everything to be like feather light. But when you have a thick handle like this, it's very hard to get those extremely light handles. But the very original one was a steel handle, and I think it was like 25 pounds. But I got down from 25 to 7, and now the goal is to get it down to 4.5, 5 pounds.
Nice, that's cool. Yeah, the light attachments are underrated.
As long as they just have to be strong enough, and if the lighter they are, as long as they're strong enough, they're perfect.
Even when it comes to you do a hard set and you just want to let go of it. You don't want like a 5-pound stainless steel weight slamming into your uprights and scratching them all to hell. So
cool. All the different colors and everything for the handle. I got red, green, purple, black. I have matte silver, and then gloss silver, and then I don't even know.
Well, this is
that's the special edition. There's 2 of them in the world.
Cool. Very nice.
So it's on inverse chains. So the first rep you won't feel it. After the first rep, then it will be harder on the way that you get the fight from the yanking you.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So here I'm going to try out the RevBar. I'm moving the Voltra. It's on the Darko mount, which I'll get a better look at later. So here I've got 95 pounds in the inverse chains mode on the Voltra. And the RevBar with that shallower angle feels really good with the 2-inch diameter. Rotates very smoothly. The knurling is great. And it just feels, it doesn't feel like it's going to slide out of your hands or anything with that shallower angle. And it puts your elbows in a really nice position. I think the 2-inch grip kind of helps with being able to have a little more wiggle room in how you position your hands to get a comfortable angle on everything.
Yeah, that feels different.
I think it feels a little heavier than regular. It's constant. You don't have the momentum now.
Inverse chains would basically mean it's like harder in the lengthened position, and then it gets easier.
And then here Matt's just explaining to me how the inverse chains mode works a little more. Basically, you dial in your normal weight, which is kind of the baseline, but then you add the inverse chains, which is whatever amount you dial in there is added at the beginning of the movement. So basically in the lengthened position, it's going to be heavier at the start of the movement, and then it'll taper off to that base weight as you go to the bottom. There you see how much harder it was, because this was 95 plus 20 at the top. So 115 at the top, 95 at the bottom.
Wow, that's weird.
It's definitely different, and stimulus you can get on it. It's such a cool device.
Definitely. Back with Matt Porter here, the Eclipse Grip. This is super cool because it's so short, the cable attaches right where your hand is, so there's no unnecessary torque on your wrist when you're doing the exercise.
Yeah, so when I made the thing, I actually had, when I was in high school, broke my hand in multiple places, so like all these longer handles like bothered me so much.
Yeah.
I just got so frustrated, I was like, I'll just do it myself, and basically come up with this. This is a solid piece of aluminum from here up, and then this is a basically a swivel hoist that Egg Weights makes. And as you're using it, it has a taper here, so it's a little more comfortable for your hand, and then rounded edges as well for those different ones. I also have upgrades. You can add a leather pad if you want to make it where it forms to your hand over time. The knurling was something that I really took a lot of time trying to dial in. It's a very fine knurling, so it has more of a sandpapery feel, so it's between 23 to 24 teeth per inch. So it gives you that very good grip, but it's not going to be something that's going to overly hurt you.
It's not like a cheese grater.
Oh yeah, it's not going to rip your calluses off, but it's also, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, it feels real solid. Let me see here. I feel like I gotta decide what to do. I kind of want to do the
overhead,
like JM type thing that I like to do. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I can set that up for you. I have the stuff for that.
Oh nice, yeah. We got the attachment here. Back. Alright.
Okay, so this is a version of a movement I like to do called, I call it a cable JM press. I usually do it with a curl bar that is sort of rigged so I can attach both cables to it. But here doing it with the Eclipse Grips separately, and using the independent handles, lets the elbows and wrists kind of track in a more natural, comfortable direction. But there's definitely some added instability, so I probably should have used less weight since I only got 5 reps there. So then I decided to just use the leg roller there to add a little more stability, and that's a really handy attachment also that Matt Porter makes, that you can just put wherever you want on the upright and kind of brace yourself for various exercises. And yeah, that flared base on the Eclipse Grips really lets you just drive hard through the end of the attachment and apply force without worrying about your grip slipping or being a limiting factor. And it's a comfortable shape as well. It doesn't like dig into your little finger in a painful way like I've had that happen with rope attachments and stuff in the past. This feels really good, and the knurling feels great. The swivel is great. You don't have to worry about the cables twisting and all of that. And again, the short length of it means that it's going to provide the minimal amount of torque to your wrists compared to a longer attachment that sticks out farther past the top of your hand. So all in all, really great attachment, probably the best of its kind that I've seen or used.
All right, I'm at the JD Gym Equip booth, and this is, what was your first name? Jesse, the titular JD, who makes all this awesome, these attachments. And these are all, is everything stainless?
Yeah, for the most part, everything we do is stainless. Everything's made in the US by us. All the materials, all domestically sourced.
It's great knurling, and just everything just feels super premium on these.
Thank you.
What is this one called?
It's called the top tier tricep.
Okay, yeah, I've seen so many people like sing the praises of this attachment, and I've wanted to try it. So, and we have it hooked up to the Voltra here, which I've also wanted to try. So this is gonna be cool. I've heard this feels heavier than a stack weight because there's like no momentum. Is
yeah,
that, like...
a little bit. The way it pulls back is like a little different. It's a different feel.
Okay, let's try. Let's see. I'll do maybe. Let's try 80. See how that goes.
All right, so this was a piece that I was excited to try because I had seen pictures of it and stuff online for a while, but I didn't really quite get the concept. Because if you look at it, the handles are sort of angled away from you, which seems like a little counterintuitive, but when you think about it, when your forearms are angled in, that's the direction that your grip is naturally angled in. So what it does is kind of just line everything up more comfortably with the elbows a little bit flared out, the wrists still able to be straight, so you can really focus on pressing down with maximal force.
20.
What do you think?
I think maybe I should do a drop set, huh? Oh no.
Go down?
What did I hit the wrong thing, yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'll go to this. Yeah, I'll try 70. Sure.
And I did find out after the fact that apparently there's a drop set mode on the Voltra that I guess would have kind of just dropped the weight automatically. I'm not really sure the details of it, but oh well, I just did it manually. It worked out.
So that was 70, go down to 60.
And everything on JD's stuff is just really excellent craftsmanship. All stainless steel. Really great knurling. I know he offers like different grip sizes and different levels of aggressive knurling depending on your preference. So, I mean, these are really quality pieces.
How you doing?
All right, we'll call it there. Do you prefer to use thumbs around or thumbs over?
I go thumbs over with this.
Yeah, I started thumbs around, and like halfway through I switched, and I felt a little better.
Yeah.
I like the, it's cool. I like the angle. Like
put your elbows in a good position.
Yeah, a little bit flared like this. So it's not like torquing the wrist out.
Yeah.
That's cool. You have some really cool hollow attachments that you're showing me a second ago.
Yeah, so at Home Gym Con we're releasing easy curl bar, hollow, cap the ends, CNC machine them so it looks like it's solid.
Yeah.
And this has needle roller bearings, 2 of them in the middle, so it's super smooth.
Yeah, this is very light. Like, this looks like just a real heavy, solid steel bar, but it's like, how much does this weigh? You know, off the top of your head?
I don't know what the weight is off the top of my head.
It's very light, like much lighter than it looks. And it's just beautiful. What's happening over there?
Yeah.
Somebody's pulling a big deadlift, it sounds like. Nice.
Thank you.
And then you have the reversible.
Yeah, hollow lap bar. So this is another release for Home Gym Con. So same hollow material, CNC machined end caps. And what it does, it allows you to switch from your, like a Larry Scott pinkies up grip to a typical lap bar, super quick, and the same thing, it's real lightweight.
That's really cool. I've never tried the
reverse,
the Larry Scott so is it actually like just up like that, or is it more like back, or how?
Yeah, exactly, just up like that. Yeah.
Huh. So I suppose it keeps your elbows in closer.
Yeah.
As you pull.
And you can go pronated as well.
Oh yeah. So is that the typical way to do it versus?
Yeah, I think both. I'm pretty sure he would do both.
Cool. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, that's another one I've seen this concept and been like, I'm not really. I'd have to try it. But I know a lot of people really swear by it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Well, great stuff, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing me around. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Great meeting you.
Yep, you too. All right, I'm here with Darko at Home Gym Con, and he's gonna show me some of his attachments, and I'm gonna try it out with the Voltra setup over here. So, what do you got that's good?
So for cable attachments, we have, this is the stainless steel Longy Bar. It's a D-handle bar. You know, you can add different, grip attachments to it. It also has the hole in the middle. That way you can do T-bar or landmine type stuff.
Yeah, this is very solid. Like,
yeah,
feels
3/8
super premium.
Yeah, 3/8 stainless steel. Everything's hand finished on that bar, so all of the rounded edges, the holes are all polished. Nice. Everything's done by hand. All made in America. So that's a long version. We also have a Shorty Bar, just a condensed version of it, and a tiny version. And of course, we call it the Tiny Bar.
All right. Yeah, so here's the Tiny Bar right here. And then
what grip attachments. These are called the Danglers. The name speaks for itself.
Yeah, so these would be great for like any kind of like rear delt
reverse
stuff,
flies,
or, even press downs, and it holds the cable like really close to your hand here, so it doesn't have all that excess torque on the.
Stainless steel eye bolts on those. 3D printed though, so we basically
very light, super lightweight.
So we offer those in about 15 different colors at the moment.
Nice.
Yep. So for cable attachments, those are kind of the main ones we sell at the moment. This one is the Shorty Bar. This has stainless steel again, but this has they're optional D grips you can buy. It's a TPU rubber material. That way you can flex over the bar.
Okay.
So when you
these like pop off.
So it basically has a bit of a nub on the inside. That way it kind of locks it into place.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So I've seen these, and I was like, because I guess I just assumed they were like hard plastic, but no, it's like grippy. Like it feels more rubberized. Like
so
nice.
In order to be able to flex over the bar, needed basically a rubber material. So it's made out of TPU, again 3D printed. But same material that most phone cases are made out of. That way it should pretty much last
so
pretty long time.
Tight on space.
Yeah.
One attachment, you use in many different ways. Let's see. I gotta put the dangler down.
Kind of open them up like a shell.
Let's see, we want one hole left there.
The more you do it, the easier it gets.
This is the mount, right?
So the Voltra is connected right now to, it's called the quick mount, and this one has an optional handle as well. Just depending on use case, the handle comes in, it makes it a little bit easier to move, just because the last thing you want to do is drop a $2,200 piece of equipment.
So I would grab this, pull this pin, right?
Yep.
And then we can easily move it around all the stuff on the rack.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about a trolley that's like running into everything.
Yeah.
Just pull it around.
As well as, most trolleys tend to scratch the rack a little bit.
Right. Let's see.
So.
And down here. I guess I'm doing some biceps.
There you go.
Let's see how it feels first. And it's okay to pull it at this extreme angle, or should I stand farther back? Okay.
So they also, because over time the cable can wear, so they do sell replacement cables and replacement batteries. Just because like any electronic or any rope, eventually things are going to wear down a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see.
So yeah, it looks like some mode is on right now, so that might be.
Yeah, I was jumping around.
So that was so that had inverse chains on. So yeah, there's a couple options for an eccentric. You can add just chains, inverse change. There's ways to set up custom strength curves. You can have it replicate the feel of a band, resistance bands. Right. So there's a number of different options available, that the software basically supports. Like the custom strength curves just came in the latest firmware update.
Yeah, that's
which was I think in January. And so far it seems like they've been doing an update almost every 6 months.
So would you say, I've heard people say that even just in the straight weight mode, that it kind of feels heavier than a regular cable because there's no momentum?
It definitely feels that way to me.
Okay. So
because even on a weight set, when you're pulling, when you pull quickly, you can kind of feel the plates almost like float for a brief moment.
Yeah, right.
Where that does not happen with the Voltra. It feels very consistent.
I do think that for attachments where you have independent handles attached to some sort of a bar, and then that's attached to the cable, I think Darko's Longy and Shorty Bar are definitely the best I've seen. Very solid, thick, 3/8 inch steel, very strong and durable. I also like the large holes, so you don't have to worry about which carabiners are going to fit. And they're big enough that you can fit 2 carabiners. Certain setups you might want to have cables attached on both sides to the same hole. And obviously, back movements, pulling movements, that's where this attachment shines. That's what it's originally intended for. I just wasn't really set up for that at the booth. Maybe not ideal for curls. I would normally want a revolving handle. On the other hand, my biceps are looking bulbous and engorged here, so I can't really complain too much. So as far as the D grip handles go, I think they're still a good add-on for the Longy Bar or the Shorty Bar. Get some more versatility out of it. Do some fat grip work. I think I probably would have liked it more for tricep press downs. I kind of wish I would have tried that.
Gotta try the Dangler.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's see. Not
So-
60.
Yeah, not 60.
Do a little rear delt here.
This is a movement I really like a lot for rear delts. And the Dangler felt really good in the hand. The top part of my hand, like my thumb and my first finger, just kind of like wrap around the narrower top part of the Dangler. And then it sort of naturally fits the shape of your palm and your fingers.
Yeah, it really sits like in the palm.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, it took probably about like 15 variations just to get that to what I felt was like the right size.
And yeah, it felt very comfortable and secure. The texture that he's printing on there, it's not knurling, but it's a similar, it's the same concept. It just really feels grippy in the hand. And then the D grips also more rubbery and texturized than I thought they would be just from looking at photos.
Okay, I think I figured it out. So this will be like an extra 10 pounds at the start, right? With the inverse chains?
Yeah.
And then it'll get lighter and it'll be like the actual weight I dialed in at the end of the movement. Is that how it works? Something like that?
That sounds right.
All right.
So all the way out is whatever weight. So right now you have it at 10. So it's going to be 10 pounds more here than it is here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so this will, when it's all the way at the end of the range of motion, that should be
Whatever
like the
the weight.
other weight that I dialed in. Okay. Cool. All right.
Load on the second rep. Just checking your range of motion.
Okay, yes, calibrate. Yeah. Okay, so the first set I did just 15 pounds straight, and I got like 27, or wait, I don't know, over 20 reps. This will be 10 pounds heavier at the start. We'll see what happens. Okay, now, yeah, the kick's in on the second rep.
That should be, yeah, it's 10 pounds heavier, yeah, right when it's coming out.
Oh yeah, I can see it on the screen there. So it starts at 25 and then drops to 15 at the end. That is cool.
It was really cool getting to use the Voltra at several different booths here. I've been wanting to try it for a long time. You can do so much with these that either can't be done any other way, literally, or just you would need a huge dedicated machine to achieve the same thing. Like what I'm doing here is overloading the length and stretch position and making it easier in the contraction. And you can do that to some extent on isolation movements with cables, depending on how you position the pulley relative to your arm. But for compound back movements like pull downs and rows, you really can't. It's with a cable, it's always going to be similar to a free weight where it's just a lot heavier in the contraction.
Wow.
How'd that feel?
That was cool. Yeah. So I only got 15 reps on that
Oh, okay.
one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like way more, tension in that lengthened stretch position.
Yeah.
And this felt really good. Like just sits in the hand and you just kind of cradle it.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome, man. Thanks for
Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, so just to wrap this up, I think that cable attachments are probably one area of equipment that more than a lot of other things just comes down to personal preference at a certain point. There's definitely some attachments that just are not good, whether poor build quality or bad design, but all three of these guys make really high quality stuff that functions well for the exercises they're intended for. And they all look great. There's differences, but everything is really top notch in that area. So if you're trying to choose between any of the similar products here, I can't really tell you definitively to go one way or the other. I think there's two obvious comparisons, which would first of all be the RevBar and the top tier tricep handle. Obviously, they're both primarily intended for press downs. To me, honestly, they both felt great to use. I didn't have a clear preference. You know, if I used them repeatedly side by side and went back and forth, then maybe I could tell you more definitively which one I like more. But then again, maybe not. You know, sometimes it's just subtle variations and you like them both, but one's not necessarily better. Both of them are top quality, made in the US, and you know, they both have price tags to match. So that's probably not going to sway you in one direction or the other. They're pretty similar in price. So really it depends on which angles you like better. And if you prefer the all stainless look or the anodized aluminum with the different color options. And keep in mind that with both of these, I only use them for press downs, and you know, they can definitely be used for other movements, but I can't really comment on those without trying those out first. The other comparison that jumps out is between the Eclipse Grips and the Danglers. They both have the short length going for them with the attachment point close to the hand, so there's reduced torque on the wrist. But between these two, there's a bigger difference, I think, in design, materials, and price, definitely. The Danglers will definitely challenge your grip more on heavier movements since there's no flared base to press against. And that comes down to personal preference, but for me, I do like how the base on the Eclipse Grips helps take the grip strength out of the equation, especially on heavier movements like tricep extensions. On the other hand, while the Eclipse Grips are made of aluminum and very lightweight compared to steel attachments, the Danglers, being 3D printed, are even lighter, and also they're significantly less expensive. So overall, I think if I had to make a recommendation between the two, if price was not a factor based purely on, you know, function and how well they work for the way I like to train, I would have to go with the Eclipse Grips. And that's mainly because of that flared base. And the aluminum construction, I do think, is a little nicer and more premium. But, you know, the Danglers would be a good option if you just want the absolute lightest attachment, or if you like the idea of getting a little bit of grip work along with your heavier arm movements, or if you just wanted a lower cost alternative that accomplishes some of the same things as far as the short length and keeping the attachment close to your hand.